I'm sure we're all looking at the summer with intrigue in terms of transfers, players going out, etc., etc. But ultimately, we've still got 2 games left to go of this season, and hopefully, Bristol City can then extend that run to 8 games unbeaten. But the final home game of the season is up against Rotherham this Saturday. Already relegated Rotherham, who have recently appointed Steve Evans as their manager. How will Bristol City cope up against this Miller side? And how can Bristol City beat them? Rotherham recently appointed new/old manager Steve Evans, who was at Stevenage and did a really impressive job taking them from League Two and pushing for the playoffs up in League One. Really impressive job there, turning to an old pair of steady hands, really, someone who knows the club. That's what Tony Stewart mentioned in his press conference as Rotherham chairman. He mentioned the fact that he wanted someone who knew the club. Steve Evans was appointed after Liam Richardson was sacked, again, overseeing a 1 win in 20 games, which is not good enough. But there's a lot of things that transpired into Liam Richardson coming in the first place. Matt Taylor, who is now obviously at Bristol Rovers, was there at the start of the season. He was sacked. And just generally things not going well. The summer recruitment was shambolic. Players going like Chirag Bene losing major quality and not replacing them. The loan players from last season not being replaced adequately either. And ultimately, for Rotherham standards, and I don't want to sound patronising or disrespectful here, quite a lot of money was spent and it just hasn't worked out. They're on 24 points from their 44 championship games played this season. They are on course to finish with 1 more point than that. Hopefully that's not the case against Bristol City this Saturday. But generally, it's just been a hard culture reset for Rotherham. And despite that, what looked like a bizarre decision to sack Liam Richardson, I think that appointing Steve Evans, again, as someone who knows the club, possibly an upgrade, especially for League One. Bristol City are 6 games unbeaten, performing really well, and a very, very good point away at 6th place Norwich, who've still got something to play for up there at Carrow Road. So to go away there and put in a really impressive performance, possibly be the side that probably should have won the game if there was going to be a winner. Really good point and a really encouraging performance. 6 games unbeaten, as I mentioned, and 2 games against sides, one in Stoke on the final day, who are in this relegation battle at the moment. Depending, we'll see how that transpires on the final day this game week. But another in Rotherham, who's just been really poor all season, and from a Bristol City perspective, especially at Ashton Gate, should be very beatable. Rob Dickey was back in that 1-1 draw at Norwich and looked really impressive in the middle of that back three. Looked really calm, really composed, and Hayden Roberts on the left of him and George Tanner on the right. They really benefited, and Hayden Roberts put in yet again a really top performance. He's looking like a real Rolls-Royce centre back, real good passing range and really good defensively, and looks like a player that's going to be a massive asset to Bristol City in the future. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him start again tomorrow. Liam Manning was asked about Dire and Boudet in the press conference preceding this game and said he might be involved in the next 2 games. Again, that's might, emphasis on the might not be involved in the next 2 games either. But he's had a real struggle since he's come to Ashton Gate, hasn't he, in January. Joined on loan from KVC Westerlo. We looked rather exciting, Man City Academy, winger, bit of dynamism, bit of energy, bit of pace, something we kind of lacked and something we just definitely lacked after Sam Bell went off with his hamstring injury. So to kind of have him was possibly a really good option to have, kind of compatible replacement for Sam Bell, but just hasn't got the minutes. Really poor against QPR, again 30 minutes, but still needed more time, and ultimately it just hasn't worked out. So if he does play 90 minutes in both next 2 games, I don't think it particularly matters. I don't think Dire and Boudet will be here next summer. Another player who was back was Taylor Gardner-Hickman. He came on as a sub in the game at Norwich. Wouldn't be surprised to see him from the off either. I would like to see Taylor Gardner-Hickman just slowly reincorporate within this starting 11. I do think he's a real quality player. But with the form Joe Williams and Jason Knight are in, particularly in that deeper role they're playing in and playing really well in at the moment, it will be hard to see Taylor Gardner-Hickman actually get into the starting 11 at the moment. So unless he's being deployed at right wing back or Liam Manning Harshu drops one of either Joe Williams or Jason Knight, it's hard to see where Taylor Gardner-Hickman actually fits into this Bristol City side. Look, we know what we're going to get from the Steve Evans Rotherham side tomorrow. They're going to be compact defensively. They're going to be very well structured. Ultimately, it's about a test of whether Bristol City can break them down. I think we're the superior quality, and I think it should be one of those kind of routine wins at Ashton Gate. However, maybe they play with a bit more freedom, Rotherham. That Steve Evans' Stevenage were quite good at being direct, but also rather good footballing side, which sometimes went under the radar. They could play football on the deck, and they are very good at attacking. So maybe we see a hint of that on Saturday, but again, Steve Evans hasn't had much time with this squad. So it'll be interesting to see what Rotherham turns up, and Bristol have to be ready for whatever form of the Millers turns up, basically. I wouldn't anticipate too many changes from the side that played at Norwich, considering we've had a week since that game, so I'd go with the same team. For that reason, I do think the momentum is going to be with us, and for the first time, actually, in a while, I'm confident, touch wood, Bristol City are going to win this game. I'll go for Bristol City 2, Rotherham United 0. Let me know your score predictions down in the comment section down below. Right, that is it for this match preview. If you have enjoyed it, hit like. If you haven't already, subscribe to the Annie Harris channel for more Bristol City content in the future. I will be at Ashton Gate, hopefully, tomorrow for Bristol City's home game against Rotherham. Final time this season at Ashton Gate. I'll see you there. You can check on my matchday vlog. That will be out possibly after the game. Thank you very much for watching this one, though. Keep safe, and I'll catch you all later. Cheers.